Hey, what up, guys? I'm going to the TGL inaugural match on my own dime on January 7th, but I wanted to do a preseason and postseason vibe check on all the players that will be participating in the league itself. So, what I have in front of me here is a tier list based solely on vibes. Now, this is going to be completely subjective and just my perception of these individuals and the team makeup. And I want to do like a commentary on how I think they will be in this league setting. To give a little bit of context of TGL, it's Stadium Simulator Golf. It's supposed to be a brand new spectator experience. We'll see how it truly is when I go. I'll give you all the lowdown when I'm there. We're going to rank all the individual team members based on vibes, but then also give an overall team vibe score. So to go over through the S, A, B, C, D rank, S is obviously the person who's going to be the most vibes, the person who's probably going to be most into it. Probably won't be too many of these. A will be someone who definitely contributes to the overall, I guess, vibe of the competition and will be a net positive for the league. B is someone who's just there, they're doing their job, but they're just middle of the road, whatever. C is for more someone who's taking away more than they're giving for the whole TGL event. And of course, D is like someone that, maybe won't be well suited for the league. Now, I might be wrong after the fact. I just want to put this out there, give my thoughts on how I think all these individuals will be. One other thing to consider is the matches are only going to have 3 out of the 4 players playing at one time. That'll be a total difference maker in terms of the chemistry and the on-screen, shenanigans that go on. So let's get into it. All right, in terms of the order here, I have the teams with the most PGA wins and majors, starting from the least to the most. So we're starting off with this very young team, the team that I will be cheering for because of just general location, which is the Bay Golf Club. This has Minwoo Lee, Ludwig Aubert, Shane Lowry, and Wyndham Clark. So we're going to go ahead and start categorizing these guys in terms of vibes. Minwoo Lee has actually had a pretty strong social media presence, and he's been competitive in a lot of tournaments, but he hasn't really sealed the deal on the PGA Tour. He's won in other professional tours, but not the PGA. And yeah, he didn't really do all that much in the President's Cup, so I don't know. I think I'm going to put him squarely in the B tier, not because of who he is as a person, but in terms of his performance. Will he step up to the occasion in a team golf event? I know. Everyone's like, let him cook. And you know what? We've been telling him to cook, and he hasn't really shown up to do that. Let's see if we can get something together here for TGL. All right, next is Aubert. This guy is a sleeper in terms of vibes. He's not super into social media or anything, but I think he's going to be a funny person. I'm going to put him at A, just because I think that there could be some pretty golden moments getting him on screen. I've watched a lot of press coverage on, the TGL. The players are going to be completely mic'd up, like all the time. And there might be some golden conversation moments between the team members. And I think Ludwig might be one of those guys who actually has some golden nuggets. All right, coming on to Shane Lowry. Dude, this is an automatic A for me, at least. This guy is super fun personality, pretty competitive. I think he'll bring the vibes, no doubt. I think he'll be the leader on this team. And then we're coming to Wyndham Clark here. Honestly, I think he just caught really hot. He's still playing pretty decent, but right now, in terms of just his overall vibe, and I don't think he has a ton of fans. I think he's just a pretty, dare I say, just very generic PGA Tour player. I'm going to put him, unfortunately, at the C tier. So that's the Bay Golf Club. Overall, I'm just going to put them safely in B, because I don't think they're going to have like anything super, super notable. Maybe if Aubert and Lowry really go off and, be funny. I mean, there's potential with Minwoo Lee as well. Okay, maybe I'll move this up to an A. Actually, I take that back. I'll move this up to an A. I think there's some potential with these 3 guys, with Lowry, Aubert, and Lee. But Clark, I'm not sure. He'll definitely be into it and competitive, but yeah, I'm just not sold on his personality. All right, we'll move on to the New York Golf Club. They have 3 majors total amongst them. Cameron Young, we'll start off with him. And this is ordered from major winners and then obviously number of wins on tour. Cameron Young, yeah, he's a pretty quiet guy. I know there's been a few posts about him breaking clubs. So I'm going to put him in the D category. This will be the first person that I feel like, I don't know, TGL, unless he puts on some more personality, maybe if he leans into being angry, that might be an interesting persona that he puts on. But yeah, I'm putting him at D. He hasn't been a very colorful personality on tour, so I don't think he's going to bring a lot to the team. Not too many people are going to be in this tier, but Ricky is going to be S. I mean, pretty much everyone loves Ricky Fowler. I was watching some media coverage on him. He's really bought into it. So he's going to be really great for the New York Golf Club. So it's going to be these two teams actually who are first squaring off against each other on the 7th. But I don't know if I need to explain it further, but I feel like Ricky's going to be an est for sure. All right, coming up next is Matt Fitzpatrick. Kind of a nerdy guy. Maybe he'll have some, commentary to offer while being on mic, but I'm just going to put him at the B. Yeah, I think Matt Fitzpatrick at B is appropriate. Unless you think otherwise, but let's continue on. And then comes Xander. I think Xander will be an A. I mean, he's got a ton of experience playing on a team. He's probably will be viewed as he's the most prolific golfer on the team. So, your best guy has to be at least an A or you're in trouble. So I'm going to put him there. I think he'll be the team leader. But in terms of a team, will they be better than the Bay Golf Club? I think right now, Cam Young kind of brings it down for me. Yeah, if you get young Fowler Schauffele or young Fitzpatrick Schauffele, you might be kind of bummed with that combo. Now, this is all speculative. The thing about this is that the players have never been into an event where they're mic'd consistently and you can hear everything they say. Everything that's gone on, like the match or everything, they've been mic'd, but not 24/7. So I'm not sure how the mics are going to go. I watched a little reel where they're doing like a test run, and the guys were like full blown on the mic in the stadium, and you could hear every word they were saying. So yeah, it's really going to put these athletes, these golfers in an interesting light. All right, coming up next is LA Golf Club or Los Angeles Golf Club. We'll start off with Tommy Fleetwood, super likable guy. Yeah, he's definitely kind of in the same realm as Matt Fitzpatrick for me, where everyone really likes him, super nice, hasn't had a ton of success on the PGA Tour, but I'm going to put him squarely in the B column or in the B row. Maybe it could be like between a B and an A, but I'm just going to leave him in the B for now. All right, Sahith Theegala. Obviously, this guy's going to bring it. Everyone really likes Theegala, but he's definitely younger, has a more electric personality. And pretty much, I think he's going to be the most colorful person on this squad besides one other person. So I'm going to put him at A. Coming up next, Justin Rose. I think he also fits between A and a B, but given his competitive nature and what he brings chemistry-wise to when he plays in team events, I think he is going to be an A for sure. So we're going to put him there. And surprisingly, we'll go to Colin Morikawa. And I'm going to put B. So I'm only putting B because every time he's been in team events, he's done pretty well. But in my mind, like he never outshined the partner that he was playing with in the team events. So maybe we'll see more color in Colin Morikawa. I feel like he's a very, model PGA Tour player where, he does everything by the book. I don't know. I think the jury's still out on Colin Morikawa in terms of his personality personally, but we'll see. Overall, the team vibes. I mean, this is the most normal. I have 2 an A and 2 B, so I can go B or A. Right now, we'll just put them in the B column together as a team. Unless, they don't have an S tier guy like Ricky, So I'm going to put them in the B column just because they don't have an S tier guy. All right, coming up next, this is the Atlanta Drive. 18 PGA Tour wins, but 3 majors between the group. First off, Billy Horschel. Normally, I think Horschel's personality, I feel like it's very pro PGA. He's a pretty colorful personality, so I'm willing to put him in the B for vibes. I think he'll be super into TGL, but it might be kind of too off-putting, just like he's super into the PGA Tour. So we'll see how that turns out, but I'm gonna leave him in the B. All right, next up, I feel bad for doing this, but yeah, it's Patrick Cantlay. Not everyone's favorite, and he is the one that comes to mind. Actually, there's one other person that comes to mind where the shot clock might be a factor. But, we're going to put him right next to Cameron Young at the D spot. Yeah, he just doesn't have a ton of fans, although he is super good in team golf, which might elevate him maybe to a C. But in terms of just the aura that he has, the vibes that he brings, definitely hurting more than contributing. So we're putting him in the D tier. And the thing about TGL is that we're going to see all of these people in a new light. Some of these guys have been on Netflix full swing, but this will be live, unfiltered, and they're really putting themselves out there. All right, coming up is Lucas Glover. Unfortunately, he's kind of like the older person draw. I hate to say it, but I don't know. Maybe he'll shine through and step up to the occasion and find some appeal. But I'm gonna put him at C. But I'm willing to be surprised, and maybe he jumps up to S or A, tier after this season, and everyone just loves him. But this team makeup for me is the most puzzling. And then we come to the last person on this team, Justin Thomas. I mean, we got to put him in the S tier, in my opinion. He's going to be the perfect balance of super into this league. He really likes team events, gets super fired up about it, right? Yeah, Justin Thomas, I think he's going to be like the it factor. But overall, in terms of the vibe, the team vibe for Atlanta Drive GC, I'm just going to put it at the C tier because this is the first team that has 2 teams in C or below. But we'll see. Maybe Justin Thomas has enough to carry this team through, but the other 3 people on his team are I don't know, maybe to be desired. I hate to put it in that way, but imagine the 3 people that play and then you go watch and they decide it's Horschel, Glover, and Kentley. If I got that as a draw and I'm watching, if I paid for money to go maybe see Justin Thomas, but then he doesn't play and I see Horschel, Glover, and Kentley, that insta drops the overall vibe from a C to a D. I'd be very bummed. So all right, let's move to the next team, the Boston Common Golf. 57 wins, 7 majors within that. And first we'll go with Keegan Bradley. Right now, I think Keegan Bradley, he's in a good spot because of how he's played. Being a Ryder Cup captain obviously is going to elevate him as well. I think he's going to bring it. He's going to be an A for sure. I think he's going to take this opportunity to really lean in and show himself here and fire up his team. All right, next is Hideki. I don't want to be that guy. I'm not sure how good his English is. I've seen a few interviews. Mostly he has a translator, so I'm going to put him at a C. It's going to be pretty difficult for him. He's the only one who's not, I think, maybe there's a few other guys, but for him, like, obviously English is not his native language. So in terms of fully mic'd, always on, how is he going to be in this kind of environment? Maybe he'll pull it off and be really good. Maybe he's there for the Japanese fan draw, but I'll put him at C for now. It's going to be really difficult for him. With the Adam Scott thing, I can take it or leave it. I think he's going to be okay, so we'll put him at B. I think he's going to bring it. Not much else to say. He's right in the middle at B. All right, last is McIlroy. So Rory, I think because I don't know the ownership stipulations of everything, because him, Tiger, and the CEO have created the company that is majority owner. Like, he's going to have to be S tier. I'm willing to say, like, in the beginning of the season, because I'm going to watch all the matches, like, he has to be S tier, but I can easily see him not being S tier. But he's going to have to bring it. He's going to be competitive. He's going to be fired up. You know how he is in team events as well. So I think putting him in S is appropriate. So let's see if he can maintain that S vibes ranking. In terms of the overall team, I'm going to put them at A. And then, it's largely going to depend how Rory feeds into his other teammates, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, this is all fun and games. It's not like scientific or anything, but I'm just going to put them at A. Plus, I really like their logo. I think it's my favorite logo of all of these, where they have the frog with the golf ball. All right, coming to the last team, Jupiter Lynx. 95 wins, 15 majors. You can tell who most of those wins are from. But let's start off with Tom Kim. And this one is pretty polarizing. He's kind of like a love-hate player. You can easily put him in A because, in the President's Cups, like, he is just electric, right? But like, in terms of those teams being successful, they're usually, they haven't been. But he has also had his mad outbursts where he has to go on social media and apologize for his actions, so it could bring it down. Overall, I could see him being an A. And just like Rory, I could also see him falling off depending on his actions. And once again, how will he be mic'd up fully? Not sure, but yeah, that's Tom Kim. Next is Kevin Kisner. Almost feel like this should be an S, but we'll put this in A. He's probably like not playing, but just being a glue guy. He has the potential just to be the top of the top, so that's why he is strongly in A. And next up is Max Homa. I think he's just kind of like Keegan Bradley, but a younger Keegan Bradley when you think about it. But he doesn't have the major win, obviously. I'm gonna put him in A as well. Well liked by everyone. He's very good at social media. How he will be in a live mic situation, I'm not sure, but I have no qualms putting him in the A tier. And lastly, Tiger Woods. So I'm gonna put Tiger in S, but kind of like Rory, I can also see him falling off. First of all, it'd be cool to even see Tiger swing competitively in something, even though it's like glorified stadium sim golf, and he's gonna draw the crowds. Like the Boston Common versus Jupiter Links tickets have all sold out. Like you can't even get them. I'm sure it's impossible. Even the inaugural match, there's still some tickets this day when we're recording this video, but their matchup, and I'm sure most of the matchups with Tiger Woods are probably not. They're probably going to sell out because how many more times are you going to be able to see him play in any sort of golf environment, right? So this kind of gives us, the opportunity to do so. So I'm going to put him as S. He has to be S, like for the success of this league. And I'm not saying this is going to be successful. I don't want to say I think it folds in a few years, but it really needs a lot of it to go right for it to maintain its success. But yeah, I'll put Tiger Woods in S, like I said, because it has to be S. And overall, Jupiter Links, it has to be an S, like I said. Will this combination of Tom Kim, Kisner, Homa, and Woods be like the reason why you want to watch these guys? Because if it's not, if that team is not successful, then it's going to be hard to incentivize other people to watch other teams. I'm pretty sure the matchups with Rory and other teams and Tiger and other teams will be harder to get tickets, but when you take a look at some of these other teams, like just take a look at the Vibe team rankings, like New York Golf Club versus Atlanta GC, when you have Young, Fitzpatrick, and Shoffley, and then you have Atlanta Drive of Cantlay, Glover, Horschel. Are they going to sell tickets? Not sure. And I'm not sure how they announce who's playing or if they do that in advance. If we check the vibe checks, on me personally, it kind of aligns who I want to see in matches. Like, oh man, like the highest ranked teams, like the Bay Club. And, okay, now that I look at it, Bay Club, I think I ranked them too highly. So I'm going to put them here. I'm gonna put them in B. That was too strong of a rating. That's almost homer, like being a homer. Maybe they'll be a sleeper and we can move them at the end of the season. But like, take a look at the team rankings in terms of the vibe, right? So like Boston Common, if you've watched them play Jupiter Links, you pick any combination of these rosters and you think, yeah, that's gonna be good. Even the worst vibes of Hideki, Adam Scott, Keegan Bradley versus Kim Kisner and Max Homa. That would be pretty fun in my opinion, and that's not even with their top guys. And we'll run this exercise between New York Golf Club and LA Golf Club, right? We'll have Thigala, Rose, Morikawa versus Fowler, Shoffley, Fitzpatrick. That would be pretty good. So this is my vibes tier list of TGL. We'll revisit this after the season is over and see if this changed at all. I'm down to be, proven wrong. Like maybe Cameron Young, Patrick Cantlay, they become like the best and most well-liked TGL players, that there is. And McIlroy, Woods, Justin Thomas, and Fowler just fall flat on their face and their team members outshine them. We'll come back. I'll take a snapshot of this. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think I'm right or wrong in some of these assessments? Don't want to offend anyone. This is just all fun. But this is kind of how I see things playing out in terms of the personalities on screen. But we're going to have to see. So like I said, I'm going to make more TGL content in the future. I'm going to the inaugural match between the Bay Club, which I have here, versus New York Golf Club. And I'm excited. So hope you guys enjoyed that one. Keep chasing. We'll see ya in the next one.